Next up is the throat center. The throat center is an incredibly powerful and unique center. It's the epicenter of expression and communication, signifying how we express ourselves to the world. The throat center state, whether defined or undefined, can significantly influence how we interact with other people and how we articulate our thoughts, feelings, and desires. It's through this center and through our language that we begin the process of creation and manifestation. The throat center, in essence, is a gearbox that regulates our energy for what we create and manifest in our outer reality. It's the place where we give words to things. If you think about language and the power of language and the ability to transmit through language, it is such an essential aspect of the human experience. It's language and words that hold meaning and trigger meaning based on our conditioning. And it's language that allows us to share and either lifts us up or drags us down. The throat center is the seat of the thyroid, which is the master gland for the endocrine system. And this system uses hormones to control and coordinate your body's metabolism, energy level, growth and development, and response to injury, stress, and your mood. So, when we fail to live aligned with our true essence and our inherent energy, it's a place, if we're not careful, we can burn ourselves out. People with a defined throat center have a consistent way of expressing themselves and their ideas. Although they have the potential to overwhelm other people with this energy, speak up often or speak without first thinking clearly about the message that they want to deliver to the receiver. With a defined throat center, you speak in a fixed way due to the energies flowing from the other centers that the throat center is connected to. This means that all the energy in your other centers is trying to express themselves through the throat center. So the energy flowing from the Ajna center right above it will want to express energy to bring your unique ideas and interpretation of the world. The G center right below it will want you to express yourself and provide you with direction. Your solar plexus on the far right side will send the energy to share your emotional process and wisdom. And your spleen on the far left side will send the energy to share your intuition and instincts. And your heart, shown as the smaller triangle on the right side, will send the energy to share your desires and will. The sacral, which is presented by the square in the lower middle, will send the energy to share your life force and what you're excited and passionate about. The energy from the head center, because it needs to travel through the Ajna center, the Ajna center will naturally influence that energy on its way to the throat before it can be expressed. The same goes for the root center, presented by the square in the bottom of the body graph. Here the energy will have to travel through one or more of the other centers connected to it before its energy can reach the throat center. Regardless of which way the energy travels, one of those centers will influence how the root center energy will be expressed. The different centers I just mentioned, but have yet to go through, will be explained throughout the rest of the center videos here. So you will have a full understanding of how they work individually and what energy they are trying to express. But always remember your strategy and your authority in terms of when and how you communicate. Those with a defined throat center often have a reliable and consistent way of manifesting their desires. They might find that when they speak their intentions out loud, they can more easily bring them into reality. Their words carry sort of a power with it and can help them manifest their goals and dreams. In the context of decision making, the throat center plays a significant role. As the expression center, it's the place where decisions are verbalized. However, it's important to remember that the throat center itself is not an authority in decision making. The throat center's role is to express the decision, not to make the decision in the first place. With an undefined throat center, you amplify the voices around you and could potentially feel a constant pressure to speak. Those with an undefined throat center may experience variations in their communication style. They may adapt their communication based on who they are with or the environment they are in. And this flexibility can be a gift as they can communicate effectively with various types of people and in different situations. But it may also lead to inconsistency or unpredictability in their expression. With an undefined throat center, you're not designed to plan what to say, but rather to tune into your wisdom in the moment. People with an undefined throat center needs attention and recognition. An undefined throat center can make someone really desperate to be seen, and the struggle for recognition and attention can become sort of dysfunctional and ultimately exhausting if somebody's in an unhealthy environment where they're not being loved and valued for who they are. So when you do experience the recognition, it lets you know that you are in the right place. So lean into your energy and your authority to know when the time feels right. When you follow that, your words will be impactful and well received by the people around you. An undefined throat is kind of designed to sit in silence and observe, and then be activated through recognition and then act in response when the timing is right and when their wisdom is being needed and valued. People with an undefined throat center might experience more variability in their manifestation process as well. They may find that their ability to manifest their desires into reality changes depending on their environment or the people that they are with. So it's important that you surround yourself with the right people and place yourself in the environment that feels most correct for you. And while this can sometimes be challenging, it also offers these individuals the opportunity to explore different ways of manifesting and to adapt their process based on what works best for them in each situation. And sometimes people with an undefined throat just need the space to talk or to let it all out. So if you're in a relationship where one of you have an undefined throat center, it can be good to give the other person the space to unload their thoughts, maybe at the end of the day. Even though the throat center is not a pressure center, sometimes the throat gets under so much pressure that they just have to talk, not for any other reason than to move the energy that builds up in the center. And the undefined throat center really has two ways of communicating. Number one is just talking to sort of burn off steam. And number two is to actually need to have a concrete conversation. If you're in a relationship with a person with an undefined throat, it's good to be mindful of what kind of conversation is this? Is it an energy moving dialogue, or is this an actual dialogue? Someone who really needs to talk about something. Recognition and attention is important here because it gives them access to creative or manifesting energy. As human beings, we need each other to go through the human experience, and giving people with an undefined throat recognition lets them know that they are in the right place. So if someone gives you recognition and listens to you, you know that this is the right place for you to expand your energy and use your energy so that it will be supportive for you in creating more energy instead of less. The not self theme of the throat center is trying to attract attention. So try and ask yourself the following question: am I trying to attract attention? Are you doing what you're doing because you want to be seen and heard, or is it because you really want to do it? Maybe what's driving your undefined throat is to be seen and recognized. And the learning here is to take that part out of the motivation and get back to being aligned with doing what you want to do because it brings you joy. So you could ask yourself another question: am I in an environment that recognizes my value and my worth? Sometimes the struggle for recognition can cause energy depletion because people are desperately trying to get attention. And that desperation for attention can often be exhausting. Not feeling seen and heard can hurt your self worth. And of course, then you become more invisible because your self worth begins to decline which means less recognition, less attention, which leads to a struggle to manage that hurt that comes from not feeling seen and heard in the first place. Recognition and attention can be a motivation and a driver for trying to create something that you don't really want in your life, but that you feel or you have a mistaken belief about that, well, if I get this thing, this position, this experience, this whatever it is, then I'll be seen. And then being seen becomes a motivation rather than being aligned with your real motivation for your life and life fulfillment. So try instead and figure out what people, environments, or community really recognize your value and your worth, and then spend more time with those people or in that environment.